Welcome, nerds and nerdettes, to another session of Thursday Pathfinder recap, or recap Thursdays for Pathfinder, our Sunday night RPG session.
All right.
I am once again, as per usual, well, joined by Captain Legs. It's your second home. I don't need to introduce you anymore. People know who you are.
Yeah, I'm having dinner. It's my second home.
It's date night apparently.
Are you eating too? You told me you'd be eating.
Yeah, I don't worry. I have snacks.
Okay, good. Good.
Mm.
Don't disappoint me, man.
No, I won't. Don't worry about it. So we last left off last session having a party. We took an easy night off. There were lots of drinking going on. Grim
got some.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Grim made his dreams come true. Let's put it that way. That session. It was good. It was a long time coming. So
Yep.
there's that. So we leave it, and it is the, no pun intended, morning after.
And Rhea is the one who does the walk of shame.
Oh God, I feel so bad. Wow.
We rolled for it.
Yeah, I know. So I can't really say much. But yeah, so Rhea makes her way out of my room, and she is unfortunately, or fortunately, spotted by Rokor, who is up and about quite early, making his early watch, and has come to fetch the rest of the party, seeing as we have kind of slept in. And there is the pressing matter to address.
You know, the army.
Yeah, the Kaldari army who wants who wants a home. They're like, can I stay? Can I sleep? Yeah, please. The Texas will bring his flan cake.
Yeah, there was this whole tangent that we had about the taxis showing up because we were gonna have a banquet. And
This is later. We should save this for later.
Okay, no.
What actual banquet? Yes.
Right.
So we had that. So Rokor notices Rhea coming out, and disheveled, wearing an evening gown early in the morning. He's interested, but he doesn't really know where she's coming from, because it's not like he saw her leaving Grim's room directly, but he can kind of put two and two together.
Yeah.
So he does. They have there's a comical exchange between Rokor and Grim, which ends up Rokor literally just dragging Grim out of bed. Firefighter carrying him, or like burlap sack carrying him to Kira's room.
Yep. Where Wes has fallen asleep on the chair after carrying Kira back to her room after she passed the fuck out. So yeah, Kira had a bit too many. Passed out. Wes carried her back to her room, tucked her in, everything, and then he fell asleep in the chair next to her bed.
Aww.
Yeah, like a gentleman.
Yeah.
Lessons. If she's too drunk, don't do it.
Wow, we had like two, and that was it. And we were just, it was more social drinking. We were.
Yeah, no, just like it's like a PSA.
Oh, a piece. Okay, I thought you were like Grim. You took advantage. No, hey, whoa.
In general, if a girl is too drunk, passes the fuck out, that is not an invitation for you to be in her bed.
Also, along the same lines, think of it as boxing. If two people don't consent, one of you is committing a felony. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Anyway, so they're sitting there. Um, yeah, Wes is just chilling. He has actually gone off to get a cleric to come and heal our hangovers because Kira is like hungover as fuck.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Um,
And Wes is in pretty bad shape.
Wes
He
is in real
didn't
bad
pass
shape.
out, but holy shit, he was in deep.
He had like he had like 15 drinks or
It
more.
was yeah, it was
A
yeah,
lot.
it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, so they're just sitting there. They're having a drink, a morning drink, a coffee or tea.
Tea, yeah.
Tea because Wes is drinking from the self
Refilling.
refilling teapot.
Yep.
So they're just chilling there, and Rokor comes in and puts Grim down in a chair, and they
Mm.
have a meeting.
They do. And basically Kira is a little bit at a loss of what to do with the Kaldari. She has already decided that yes, she is going to accept, but her council, aka the party, both Wes, who surprisingly knows a lot about Keldar, more than we expect, and also Grim, just being, know it all Grim, are a little tentative of such an open invitation. And so everyone decides that there should be conditions and a contract met for Kaldar's occupation or stay within the Redlands borders.
Do
So
you
they
have those conditions written
yes,
down?
so
Okay.
they go about to work uh, for they go to work basically writing down this condition list, and basically there's the top three that we stated. One, the legate, so the general, is to swear loyalty to Kira, or the Lord of Fort Andron, um, in their fight. So that basically covers the whole. You can't really betray us. You swore loyalty. Like we're keeping our back safe. Secondly, after the war is won, if that happens, if we are successful, the armed military of Kaldar is to depart from the Redland territory within a month. Civilians can stay and apply for citizenship, or they can go back to their homeland. That'll be up. But the armed forces of Kaldar have to vacate within a month. And then, lastly, food and shelter will be provided to both civilians and armed forces during their stay in the Redlands during wartime. But considering the fact that Kaldar is in utter ruins right now, any help or aid given to Kaldar after the war to help them rebuild must go through the Lord Protector. So whoever the Lord Protector is at that time, which it's probably going to be
Edmund.
Edmund. Yeah. But that's basically that's we're basically saying we're not going to, help in any way afterwards, because after a war, resources are kind of scarce, and we're already like burdened with how many armies I mean, they're helping. I understand. Thank you so much for the
But it's a
help.
lot of mouths to feed.
It is, and plus we're taking refugees from the life tree. We're taking refugees from, there are. It's not just all military force, right? There
Mhm.
are, especially after the World Tree fight, a lot of refugees from there that are not part of it. So basically, with the contract or the scroll set, while Grim was writing as they were brainstorming this, Grim takes his leave since he has some matters to attend to, while the party goes about their business. Now,
Mhm.
while all this happens, we find out Grim goes back to the forges with a project that he's intent on, which isn't really strange to any of the party, just because we are gone from Fort Andron from a for a big for some lapses in time, and Grimm's father works in the forges, so to them it's just like bonding time with his dad, or so to speak. I believe Rokor does Rokor things.
He just like goes off and patrols.
He's a boring guy.
He's a rock.
Yeah. Wes actually comes with uh with Grim.
Mhm.
Was my just because and visits the refugees from both Grimm's village and the or life tree. Yeah, life tree, and basically just chills with them, hangs out, because he feels a little bit sort of responsible for the entire deal. And Wes actually really likes Grimm's dad, so that's
Yeah.
good. Um,
Graham's dad also sounds very, very familiar to you, Katawa people. You went full nurse
oh God,
for
I
Wes.
try, I try for Grimm's dad. Yeah, I tried to make it sound like gruffer and like more old, but totally,
It
it's
he just
no.
was a chain smoker.
It's just well, I mean, the forges, the soot in his lungs.
That's true. Might as well.
I'm
Might as
just
well be a case.
saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Kira has gone for a walk among the civilians. She walks past her statue, uh, and is really awkward about it. She's like, "Why is that still there?" And then she finds her. Who is it again?
It
Oh, her
it
like high priest.
it was a high priest because he's a
Yeah.
druid.
Oh right. And she's like, "Yeah, um, can you change that to a bear?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And so she summoned Polaris and got him to pose, and the guy was like, that's kind of a bear," and it looked kind of like a weird interpretation of a bear. You can totally tell it's a bear.
Oh yeah, but you can't tell that it's Polaris.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
Tyleaf will come and fix it at some point. But for now, that's what the statue is.
Yeah.
All is well. So Kira goes for a walk in the park.
In the park that she never wanted in the first place, the bastard park that was thrown away, and now
You know
she
what?
loves
We needed an
it.
armory. And we needed a bar. You know.
There were more important things. Nothing beats a park, damn it. Yeah, no,
Park
no,
was
that's
nice.
good.
The park came in handy.
Oh yeah, no, it was good. Basically, as the day rolls by, Grim is finished with his preparations, making the brainstorming scroll into something more official, and the full council of Fort Andron, is summoned to the throne room about mid-afternoon, and Grim goes off to fetch the legate and his palsy. His palsy. So Grim arrives in the throne room, followed with the legate, his captain, and squire in tow, and takes his I guess place beside Kira, and he reads the document, and he gets to the part of swearing loyalty to.
And kneeling.
Oh, and kneeling. Yeah, well,
Kneeling's at the
swearing.
bottom.
Well, swearing loyalty. No, I don't think it's so much the kneeling, even the swearing loyalty part, because that's kind
Yeah.
of how you swear loyalty. But basically, it was to swear loyalty in front of his army to Kira as a sign of, you know, uh, their treaty. And the captain has a little bit of an outburst here. He steps forward, is about to say something, but the legate holds him back. He
Yep.
holds him back, gives him a stern look, and the captain concedes the point. The legate apologizes for the interruption and begs us to continue. Grim finishes reading it, gives the scroll to the squire for further inspection for their scribes and whatnot, and they continue. And it actually ends there. But before the legate and the captain and the squire finish exiting, the legate and all the council, the rest of the council of Fort Andron are exiting the throne room as well. He actually approaches Kira and asks if he can speak with her in private. Um, to which
Wes and Grim are not okay with
Wes and
that.
Grim are not okay with, but with all things considering, Grim hears this, gives Wes a look, and Wes already knows. So he is in the vicinity. Um, while Kira and the legate take a walk with Polaris. So she is with Polaris. It's not that big of a deal, but hey, we're it's our
Better
job.
safe than
It's our job. We have to remember again, both all three of us, especially Rokor, Wes, and Grim, would not have the position we were in if we were not knighted. And we were only knighted because of your
Because of
stat.
that.
Like, yeah, exactly. So we are relatively your knights of the round table. Like, it's our job. It's just that's just it. So they take a walk,
Yep.
and
So the guy does have a bit of a problem with the pledging fealty because it's not a fealty thing. He's okay with it being an alliance and being a contract for like assisting during the war and everything, but he doesn't want it to be fealty. And so Kira makes it clear that he's not bowing to her to swear himself to her. It's just proving that they are in our lands and they'll cooperate. That's all that she wants, and she wants his army to be aware of that. So
yeah. Basically, that they're equal partners in this. The Redlands, if you guys have missed it, the Redlands and the Kaldar do not have a good history with each other. Redlands actually fought for independence against Kaldar in the sense because they did not want to be controlled by Kaldar anymore. So there's a lot of animosity there, and because the Redlands are kind of in the more commanding position with this threat of Zetaxes, the legate doesn't want the Redlands to lord over, and basically for
yeah.
the past mistakes of Kaldar, you know, turn them into slaves, because we actually have, and Jeff mentioned this too, they have little choice. We could have asked for anything, and even during the reading, the legate did say that our terms are surprisingly fair, and
Yeah, that's true.
he's a pretty old man. He's seen a lot of war, and yeah, he's actually really surprised that he always knew that the Redlands were like a fair people, and that's why he didn't hold any grudges towards them. But that's not the general consensus of Kaldar. Like, there's still a lot of hate there. Yeah, so he basically just wants to double make sure that especially the citizens, I'm guessing, I'm might be putting words in his mouth, don't bear the brunt of like their old history, right? Because we could turn all of them into slaves and be like, ha,
Yeah.
work for us.
Yeah. So then he agrees to sign the contract, and once that's done, the contract is signed within the hour, and the Legion enters the gates, and then Marius bows in front of Kira, and once he's done this, says, "Let this be a sign of alliance between a common enemy." Blah blah blah. I pledge this allegiance in alliance to Kira Torstone, on my honor, whatever. So they're all, yeah.
They're all great. Grim has the response, basically hammering home the fact that this is indeed equal ground. This is by no means servitude. Just because Kaldar has its pride too, and
Yeah,
we're not about to take away. We're not about to take away that because that's part of them. That's part of them.
totally.
Um, so with all that done, banquet time.
Banquet time! So this is where the taxis banquet joke came into
Because
play.
Jeff asked who were we going to invite, and Kira
We're
was
like,
like,
everyone!
it's like everyone.
And so then we were thinking about, oh, what happened to
I brought my
taxis?
souffle.
Just like, what's in it? Oh, the damned.
Despair.
Little, like, yeah, and this little just like skull.
Floating skull floats in, lands on somebody. Ah! I got one.
Yeah. Anyway, so that we didn't invite the taxis. We just invited the legate and Edmund and Loravir, and then some other nobles. What am I doing?
I don't know.
Nobles.
Right, and the Kaldar Senate, whom of which only 3 survived out of 100.
Oh shit, you're right. And their names are Gracchus, Varius, and Meridius.
Hey!
Yep.
I
Yes.
didn't bother, but yeah. So basically, it's all chit chat and whatnot. Highlights of the banquet, though.
Yes. Oh wait, so some toasts are made.
Yes. Oh yes,
Kira
toast.
says, I'd like to make a toast to alliances, and we're gonna win this war and everything's gonna be great. And Marius also gets up after Kira does, and he says, to burying old swords, and so everyone toasts, and the captain reluctantly toasts. I don't think he's quite ready to bury old swords yet, but he does it anyway.
Yeah. So basically, with that, you want to do the Watcher first?
Oh well, Wes leaves.
Oh no! I'm
and
just
goes to
saying.
the-
Oh,
yeah,
oh wait, okay. Sorry. Before that, before we leave, it's Grim. So at the party, Grim finds Rhea, because there's a little bit of awkwardness, after what happened the night before.
Oh, yeah,
Though
well, back
during
at the council meeting,
yes,
and Grim
yeah,
kind of stood next to each other, and they're like,
yeah, but during the whole council, she did seem very. Though she was shy about it, she seems quite happy, giving him a smile and during their greeting. Though it was, a more formal setting, can't really talk about it there. So at the banquet, Grim does approach, and they talk basically about what happened, if everything's all right. And Grim comes out and says the taboo words.
oh yeah,
The taboo words that in any other anime would just mark you for death. So we shall see. But
well, Cygnet's marked you for death.
yeah, that's it. No, it's over. So so basically, Grim approaches Ray after after their conversation, and he says, after the war is over and done with, and if we do come out of it, I'm going to ask your father if I can have your hand in marriage, like if I can marry you. And Rhea is all smiles about it, and replies that her father will probably not disagree, and even if he did, she wouldn't let him. So it's all set.
I'm so happy.
They are engaged. As of now. And with that settled, Grim goes over to Kira, says that, to enjoy the rest of the festivities. If he is needed, by all means summon him, but he has to and like he has to finish or enter the final preparations of this project that he's brought up with, and he takes his leave from the hall. Now Wes, yes, this is when it happens. Wes uh, sees Grim leave. Oh no 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 no. Wes notices that the legate is gone.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
just up and left.
yes, he left sometime during the banquet, and once Wes basically sees that the legate is gone, he excuses himself and follows Grim down to well. He goes out and wanders. We were role playing underneath a table on this one, and he basically goes out and catches some fresh air and finds
That's what you were doing.
yeah.
You cheaters.
And he finds himself in the forges during his walk, and it turns out that before him lies um,
Lies?
lies a scene. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
describing the scene. But this is when at this time when Wes leaves, Kira summons Watcher, our
Our spy master.
spy master. Yep.
Now he's I don't if you've been keeping up, Watcher is a member of a group of beings called the Mask. And he's a super weird guy. Like, you can never find him, but if you're like, hey, where's Watcher? He'll just like show up right here and be like, I'm here. I'm here the whole time.
We
You're
find
like,
out
"What?"
that he's a shadow dancer, so it makes perfect sense now.
Totally.
Like I was just like, you're just fucking creepy, dude. No, you're actually a
No,
shadow
he's
dancer.
actually,
Oh, okay,
this is his thing.
that's your
So-
thing. Which makes
Um,
sense. A perfect spy master, right? Holy shit.
So I'll do this. You get the phone.
Yeah.
So Kira thinks about Watcher and he shows up and sends him after the legate.
Yes. To keep a watch.
Yeah.
Of the
just
legate.
to figure out like where he's gone because he didn't even say like, oh, I'm going to bed, and Kira's like, hey, bye. No, like they just disappeared. So she's like, this is super weird. We just let them in. Now they're like wandering around, sketchy. So she sends Watcher after them, and he's like, with pleasure, and then just like pieces into the shadows.
Yeah. So this is basically the report that Kira gets back from Watcher, which is the scene that is unfolding real time. So Wes approaches the forges, and he's actually, well, seeing that he has hung out with Grim, he sees basically what he's been seeing. There is Grim and his father working in the forge, accompanied by two elves and one dwarf, each working on their own thing. Now, it looks as if this project is coming to its final kind of climax, as the three different races are combining the three different like rods that they were working on into
The way you're presenting this, the final climax. Different races are
well,
different
geez, okay. Into one power, like into one mighty staff. Okay, the rod of power. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
French Katawa.
Yeah. Oh, too much. So basically, they're fusing. They're fusing this whatever it looks like together. And Mokot is actually there. Once he once Mokot is actually there, and everyone is in serious concentration. Even Mokot, who is kind of happily and jovial most of the time, is in intense concentration. And Wes is standing back, kind of watching the events unfold. Behind him, though, the legate approaches and asks.
Oh no, Wes goes to fetch Mokot.
That I've already skipped that part. Mokot's already
But
there.
then when he comes back.
Yeah. Regardless, Mokot's there. Wes is there. Legate approaches him and asks if they can talk. To which Wes basically says, "You have to wait. I want to watch this."
Mhm.
And after basically Mokad is done, he loses the concentration. The all the blacksmiths are still working quite heavily on the what they're making, and but it's died down now, as Mokad kind of relaxes and eats from his own banquet table that he conjured up, and Wes and the legate have their conversation and this whole
Mm.
thing. Did you write it down? Their conversation.
You know what I was doing?
What are you doing?
I had a handful of popcorn,
Oh.
and I was just.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
I wasn't gonna write that
it
shit
was
down.
kind of the same for me too. Essentially, the legate apologizes to Wes for how he raised him, and basically the whole and Wes isn't necessarily forgiving him, but he has a hard time. He wants to move forward because he's grown up and realized that how the legate raised him was really the best and only way he knew how. He's an army man. He never had a child of his own. He was pulling from thin air, and basically he was just doing his best. Uh, Wes still can't forgive him for the fact that it was the legate and his legion that killed Wes's family, but he can't forgive him for the way that the legate kind of raised him, treated him, though it was harsh. Really, you can't. The legate had no Dr. Phil to teach him how to raise his child. Let's just put it that way, okay? So they have a really touching moment in this, and basically taking a step forward in their relationship now that Wes has grown a bit and has become a man. Um, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
and with that, the legate says that he's turning in for the night. He can't party like he was young, and this was good. Watcher reports that as the legate walks back towards into the darkness, he looks more an old man than a general. His
He sort of deflates.
oh, it's
His shoulders like slump, and he turns around and saunters off very wearily. Mm.
Wes though turns his back and returns to the banquet. And Watcher, though he was sent to watch the legate, continues, and the legate stands and turns and watches Wes go until he's out of sight. A very old and weary man. My kokoro. It's so good. So that was a touching moment. And Wes goes back to the banquet hall. He actually tells Kira that he's gonna go. Like
Mhm.
he's not gonna stay. He has he's really torn, right? He's really torn and conflicted, and I don't know. You notice this, right? Because you're even though you're like really drunk at this point, I think you notice it, and you're just
I
like,
wasn't actually. No,
uh,
I wasn't really
yeah.
drinking
You're
that
like
night.
uh, okay,
Yeah.
be okay. And before Wes turns in, he actually goes back to the fortress and mm, ask for Grimm's dad's a moment of his time and ask him what if he didn't see Grimm for 6 years, and he came back, would he still love him and would he miss him? Like how would you feel as a father if you couldn't see Grimm for 6 years? And it turns out that Grimm's dad replies, I think his name's Torvin. His name's Torvin.
What?
Yeah, his
Did you
that's
do that on purpose?
I did when I made him. It was back in the remember in the village. I totally forget his name. I keep on saying Grimm's dad, but I totally know what his name is.
It's Torvin.
It's Torvin.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So he's
Aw. Was he like maybe this is like a post-apocalypse
Stop.
world,
Stop.
and this guy was actually like in space at one point, and
Oh God, no.
was the rogue trader of a certain
Stop. No, and basically Torvin says that that's exactly, that's not very far off. He doesn't have to use his imagination because that is what happened. At a young age, Grimm left home to do something that he had to do. He doesn't specify, but basically, Grimm had to leave home. Wasn't able to see him basically until Grimm came back with the party. And Torvin says this, I didn't see him until, he brought you guys along with him and asked us to leave our village because of the taxis. But he says, I missed him every single day, but I knew that he had to leave. He left because he had to, basically, and he couldn't accomplish what he needed to if he stayed. And though it broke my heart, I respect that, but I never stopped caring about him because he's my son. I can't see any father not missing their child. A father who doesn't miss their child is not a father at all. And so with those words, Wes hugs it out with him, and Torvin gives him his big burly bear hug, and Wes turns in for the night.
Now,
Yeah.
the next morning, Mokot sets up a meeting with the Elokir chief, and then Grimm is kind of like super exhausted. So, does he even show up for the meeting?
No, that's
No.
why Wes has to come and get him. But so
Right.
yeah,
So we have the meeting. He's ready to go. He's ready to go save his people from whatever the heck's happening down there.
2 weeks later, yeah.
Well, you know what? We had to go deal with the sandstorm. So what can we do?
Sorry, stop.
So lost my train of thought. Yes. So we have the meeting. Ready to go. Wes goes and gets Grimm, who is asleep on a pile of hay.
Yeah, so basically Wes takes Grimm's bag and goes off to find him. Basically exactly where they left last night. Grimm goes to the forges. Torvin, Grimm's dad, is asleep on his forge stool, just slumped over. Grimm is asleep in a pile of hay. He's covered in actually Torvin's big, heavy leather forge apron.
Yeah, he's cuddling a chicken.
Yeah, no, basically, hold on, we'll get to that. The elves are still working away. They basically just, one meditates for an hour, the other one keeps on working, and they just swap out because fuck elves. The dwarf fell asleep standing up and is just the loudest snorer ever. Fucking dwarf. Yeah, so he's just fallen asleep, just standing up, just just the loudest snorer. And Wes throws the bag over to Grimm, who's very groggy in the morning. And the chicken quacking actually wakes him up from that. And Wes like, well, are you coming? To which Grimm's questions go, where are we going? He's like, don't you know, we're going to Alakir. He's like, oh, that was today. Oh shit. He gets up and there's he grabs his bag and evidently grabs the chicken as well, who woke him up. And as he heads to the throne room.
And they teleport away right away, and as they're teleporting, Grimm realizes he's holding a chicken.
Yeah, Yeah, so the chicken comes along and we teleport right onto the wave breaker,
Yeah.
who is waiting for us, docked by Miriam's luck, which is stone throws away. Yeah, and we meet again the captain of the crew of the Wavebreaker. We reunite with them. Mokot then teleports back out, says that he'll keep an eye on us on our ship, scrying. He gives us a little bit of a speed boost. Gives us some extra wind in our sails.
Yeah, and he also gives us a little thing for us to hold on to, and he can keep an eye on us.
Not yet.
What?
He gives it to us before we enter the mist.
Oh.
Yeah. Not yet.
Whoops.
Mm.
I didn't actually write that down, so
Mm.
I just remembered it now. And I was
Yep.
gonna...
Yeah, so basically it's going to take a couple days to head to Alakir. We're a little tentative because we kind of asked the Wavebreaker to go into something quite dangerous, but it's the Wavebreaker. Its crew and captain are very adventurous, and they know how to handle themselves, and they gladly accept the challenge. So we sail for a couple of days, pretty uneventful, until we hit the fog, in which Mokot appears on deck, gives us an orb.
There we go.
Basically one to help scry, and it's to boost the power of scrying, just because there's an object that he's attuned with, and we enter the fog that is covering Alakir. Now it's slow going. We're basically crawling in the ship, so it takes quite a few days. We're trying to enter the port of Alakir, or one of the ports of Alakir.
Yeah, they're trying really hard to maneuver us to shore.
Yeah, and we end up wandering off course a little bit and almost grounding the ship, as the captain steers, tries to tack the ship back out towards the sea. But we almost actually run aground. But a day or two being close to the shoreline, we actually hear fighting. It sounds like a huge battle going on in the coastline, to which...
Well, Grim does anyway.
Yes, Grim. There it is. Yeah, no one else hears this, but Grim is basically able to hear this, what sounds like a huge fight happening just off the coast. He asks the captain to weigh anchor and grabs, basically lets the party know what's happening, says that they should check it out, and we pile into a dinghy, a boat, and make for land, to which we find a huge battle going unfolding.
Yeah,
it didn't just sound like a huge battle, it was a huge battle.
It is. So there's this huge battle between Alakir men and Bogards, big ugly frogs.
That have lots of tongue action.
Yeah. All the tongue action.
All of it.
So
the party lands on the beach and enters into the fray. We do what we do. Well, actually,
we kill some dudes.
Yeah, Grim actually charms one of the Boggards, the last Boggard, and goes over to try to interrogate the Boggard, basically get some answers.
The one language,
but he can't fucking understand it, and he basically asked the question. He asked for the Boggard's name. He gets a response. Grim has a look of confusion in his eye, to which Wes just automatically unleashes bazillions of arrows into this cush pin of a frog.
He just shoots him right in the noggin.
Oh, knowing Wes, that one was like, feel like, yeah, I just shot one. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yeah, he basically he kills him. He basically just outright kills him. And Grim, caught a little bit surprised. She's like, oh well, I guess. But the battle ends, and the chieftain who is along with us and his tribesmen go and converse with the Alakir men that were caught in battle, and basically find out that they were following the chief's ship, and they were attacked by the boggards. Basically, they came out of the water, and some of them drowned. The rest of the ships tried to make it to shore and fight them on land, where they would have a better chance. And basically, since the disappearance of the ships 2 weeks ago, this group of this one group anyway has been fighting for their lives, just waiting for survival. Unfortunately, they don't know where any of the other ships are, or where any other people. They just have that group there. So there's still like 999 bottles of beer on the wall left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not in good shape, but this is who we've got, and they're happy that we've saved them. So.
Yeah. And
that
so
is where we end.
Yeah. So next session, it's going to be trying to find out the cause of this fog, trying to dispel it, and finding the rest of the Alakir survivors, if there are any. Hopefully there are. But yeah, no, that is where we leave off. So make sure to tune in to Sunday Night RPG this Sunday to find out how we unravel the mysteries of the Alakir jungle.
Alakir jungle.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in.
Yep, and we will see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah. Now we are taking a quick break.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about some stuff.